Once upon a time, a great devil created a world full of mystery and pain, where violence, sex, and betrayal were the norm.
And then we made some weird theories about it. So as I said in a previous episode, these theories don't have to be wrong or dumb or stupid or crazy, they're just to be weird. The theory I'll be covering for this episode has a ton of people and evidence backing it. Personally myself, I believe it could be very well true, but I still consider it a very weird theory because it's a giant change in the course of how the world we understand it is. Okay, let's get started. This theory states that the world of Ice and Fire is not actually a fantasy medieval series, but a sci-fi series. People believe this because a lot of the different books that George R. R. Martin writes is sci-fi. He's actually a primary sci-fi writer. Other evidence is that a ton of the things that we believe will be happening throughout this theory is evidence from his prior books of the same kind of conventions that happened there that repeat themselves in this world. Now this theory by far has the most in-depth review and evidence points that we can go through, so it's going to take forever for me to go through it all, so I'll probably only go through the few major facts and evidence we have. So what does the theory actually say? This theory believes that the world of Ice and Fire is a post-nuclear war of a sci-fi planet, and that the first long night wasn't just a random extra long winter, but a nuclear winter. If you don't remember what the long night is, maybe this will jog your memory.
Oh, my sweet summer child, what do you know about fear? Fear is for the winter, when the snows fall 100 feet deep. Fear is for the long night, when the sun hides for years, and children are born and live and die, all in darkness. That is the time for fear, my little lord, when the white walkers move through the woods. Thousands of years ago, there came a night that lasted a generation. Kings froze to death in their castles, same as the shepherds in their huts. And women smothered their babies rather than see them starve, and wept and felt the tears freeze on their cheeks.
So, now that you know what the long night is, they believe that this nuclear winter caused humanity to digress in its technology and its advancement all the way back to the medieval ages. Now this seems a very far stretch, but a lot of George R. R. Martin's books actually have the same thing happening in them, which is quite a coincidence. Another piece of evidence that there was a nuclear winter is a whole bunch of bunkers in the ground. Now Westeros and the rest of the world conveniently have a ton of just underground nuclear bunkers or other kind of cavernous places they could have survived in, like the caves of the children, the tunnels underneath the wall, the deep tunnels underneath the Nightfall, the tunnels of Moletown, the crypts beneath Winterfell, Casterly Rock is built into a mountain, the tunnels beneath Dragonstone, the tunnels under the Whispers, the caverns beneath the Eyrie, the caves in the Riverlands, the hollows of Crackpaw Point, the mines of Castamere, and of the Westerlings, the Good Brothers, and of course the Valyrians. And can I add the Pentoshi as well? Westeros and the rest of the world of Ice and Fire have so many convenient underground bunkers that restart civilizations, and the points of it's just crazy. There's no way an uncivil medieval society could predict a long winter coming out of nowhere and build bunkers prepared for that. But an intelligent, warring country with the capabilities to make a nuclear winter, preparing for what seems like a escalating political, clashes into a war, they might prepare. Now I could go into many examples of different books that George R. R. Martin has written that all have civilizations of people hiding in tunnels or caverns to survive a nuclear or bigger populated event, but this video is just a shortened down version of it. Now there are a few other things we also believe that may be linked to this nuclear winter and sci-fi series. For example, there's the Others. They're like zombies pretty much. Let's imagine you were trying to describe what the outside world would be from inside a bunker during a nuclear winter. A whole bunch of diseased, evil, dead-like people going around in this hellstorm of cold and darkness, resurrecting the dead, which could have been a side effect of mutation from different, nuclear radiation and stuff, and they could all be seen, from cameras or whatever they had, or whatever, they were using to record this stuff. And throughout the generations, legends and transfers from just spoken to written have just dumbed it down and changed this legend into the White Walkers. Now before I go way too far into this theory, which will just take forever, we're going to take a step back and we'll recap what we know. So the world of Ice and Fire is a post-apocalyptic nuclear war from a sci-fi planet. Humans were digressed in their technology back to the medieval ages as they had to survive in bunkers during this nuclear war that were made prepared for it. And the magic, deformities, dragons and all this kind of other random stuff that happens is from the sci-fi kind of parts of it and the, mutation parts from the nuclear war. Are you hooked by this theory and you want to know more? Well, I'll put a link in the description to a playlist of a video series that covers it very well. It goes through each step of evidence and evidence and evidence with this theory that links to thousands of other theories and all the whole plot of the world of Sci-Fi all in one. Now, before you check that out, a lot of the evidence and stuff he'll be going through is all from different books from George R.R. Martin and the book itself. So if you haven't read it and you want to read it, then you can get a free audiobook of the Game of Thrones audiobook or any audiobook you want from George R.R. Martin's series of 15,000 different titles you can choose from for free by using the link www.audibletrial.com/king. There'll be a link in the description, you can just click there, get the free audiobook, refresh the series if you haven't read it for a while, or read it for the first time if you want to. It's amazing, plus it's really easy just to sit back and listen to it, and you don't have to go through the trouble of reading those giant tomes if you just aren't into that. Trust me, it's great, I've done it myself, and I would recommend it to all of you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.